Hey, crypto family. So it looks like we had a nice little bounce today. Bitcoin is up 2.3% to $6,418. We have Ethereum still underperforming, down 1.6% to just above $200. And then we have Ripple up 2%, and the rest of the altcoins up about the same. So again, it's good to see we had this nice little bounce. The market cap is still under 200 billion at 198 billion. So hopefully we can get that above 200 billion. And the Bitcoin's dominance is still staying strong at 55.7%. So look at the analysis here for Bitcoin. So we can see here that actually this bounce that happened, it happened in the span of less than 10 minutes. So if we go on the 5-minute chart here, we can see exactly when this bounce happened. You can see these two green candles are exactly when that bounce happened. And it went from $6,182 to a high of $6,483. So a $300 move in less than 10 minutes, which is crazy. I'm not sure exactly what caused this bounce, but again, you know, a lot of indicators were showing oversolds. Basically everything was just screaming, you know, a bounce since this huge drop that we did have. So as you can see here, it is having that Bart Simpson algorithm look. We haven't had that algorithm in probably at least 3 to 4 months. So it looks like it may be returning, which basically all it is just a strong move to the downside, some consolidation, and then strong move to the upside in a short amount of time. So if we do end up seeing this, then we may have a strong move to the downside. But again, we may have some more positive price action before that. But going back to the 4-hour chart here, we can see that before we had this bear flag that was drawn. Now we may end up having a bull flag that's drawn if we do have some more consolidation within the next couple of days. But the next resistance line that we're looking for is that 200-day moving average of $6,615. So hopefully we can touch this resistance, we can bust through it, and then our next resistance is at the 128-day moving average of about 6750. So again, we're gonna have to look at these levels, see if we can rise above them. The RSI right now is still showing a little oversold, so there is some more room for the upside if we are following that. But again, you know, hopefully we can just get some more volume going and continue this little bounce that we have had. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But some news items for today. There's an article posted by Coin News, and it says Bitcoin price surges from 61.90 to 64.50 in seconds. What's next for BTC? So basically it mentions same thing I was mentioning, you know, a lot of indicators were oversold, and you know, after the magnitude of the drop that it had, then a bounce was predicted by a majority of analysts. Now, I know a lot of people didn't see this bounce coming because of how severe the drop was, but again, you know, all the indicators were oversold, so it was eventually going to happen. And then it says on August 25th, CNBC crypto trader Voorhees says, quote, I don't expect the bear market to end soon, although I do think that the rate of collapse has slowed considerably. Generally in these bubbles, after you go through several months of a downtrend, you hang out in range for a while, but I think we are done with the majority of the collapse. And I do have to agree with him. I do think the majority of the collapse is finished. I mean, we've almost collapsed 75% from the highs that Bitcoin had. So, you know, I don't think that there is much more room for a drop from the highs that we had in January. In saying that, I do believe that we will test the 6,000 support and 5,800 support again, and potentially decrease down to new lows of about 5,500 to 5,000. So I know it's not something everyone wants to hear, but again, I do believe, you know, we'll have a little bit of a short rally here and then test those new lows, you know, in the next coming weeks / months. So that's just something to keep in mind. And he mentions here, it said the abrupt correct rally of BTC triggered by a strong oversold condition demonstrated in the low 6,100 range could enable Bitcoin to find stability in the mid 6,000s, which would be beneficial for short-term recovery of the market from a major drop. So notice how he says short-term recovery. So again, that 6,100 range did provide support here, but you know, maybe we consolidate above this mid 6,000 range, and then we may fall to the downside, retest this support, and potentially fall to new lows. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. Another article here is from News BTC, and it says Chinese traders are still investing in Bitcoin by exploiting crypto ban. So those who remember, China decided to ban cryptos finally. You know, they were talking about it for about 4 or 5 years, and they finally decided to do it. Now, even though they've banned crypto trading, people are still finding apps, still finding ways to circumvent that ban. And it says here that the yuan trading activity is under 1%, while the currency once accounted for 90% of global trading volume. Following the ban, the government has moved to shut down as many high-profile exchanges, ICOs, and crypto projects as possible, rapidly reducing trading volume and scaring citizens away from the markets. But it says here that people are still able to trade, following these bans. And it says, in addition to utilizing illegally operating exchanges, Chinese traders are also using peer-to-peer trading to circumvent the ban, exchanging cryptocurrency between wallets directly without using a middleman like an exchange. So the gist of the story basically is, people will find ways to get around cryptocurrency bans, whatever country they're in. You can't really stop it. And it just shows how widespread cryptocurrencies have become and just how many people are investing and how many different ways and avenues there are to trade them. So I thought this was pretty cool because it shows, even though if a country tries to ban cryptocurrencies, its citizens are still going to try to find a way around it. So that's always good for long-term growth and for mainstream adoption. And last but not least is the Ethereum. And again, everyone is talking about the Ethereum fall. It's going to zero, and it says, article here by Coin News, Ethereum falls to $185. What's causing Ethereum to drop harder than other cryptos? So a couple of you may be wondering, why has Ethereum been the underperformer for the past couple of months? And there's some couple of reasons for that. One of the main reasons it talks about is an ICO sell-off. So, when ICOs do happen, a lot of people use Ethereum as a means for buying that ICO token. And because of that, these ICOs have millions and millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, and eventually, they're going to unload that onto the market. So I think, with the drops that keep happening, a lot of those people who are holding that Ethereum, are beginning to dump their ICOs. And, I'm sure that's happened way, way prior in the beginning of the year, but it continues to happen the lower we drop. So I think it's kind of that, they're scared. They don't want to lose their profits from the ICO. And they're just, all the ICO companies are selling their Ethereum. In addition to that, we have Vitalik Buterin, who believes, days of 1,000x crypto growth is gone. Basically, he's negative. He doesn't think that, basically he thinks the growth of Ethereum is limited now. He doesn't think, it'll scale properly. And then on top of that, you have Ethereum futures potentially launching at the end of 2018, which everyone knows, Bitcoin futures, when it launched, it was a positive at first, and then a lot of people believe that's what caused Bitcoin's downturn soon after. So I think people are thinking that with Ethereum as well. They aren't thinking of futures as a positive thing. And that's just kind of snowballing into all these other reasons why Ethereum is declining. So if you're holding Ethereum, I don't know what to tell you. I would say just hold, but it's risky with Ethereum since it is one of those coins that isn't showing much promise when compared to other altcoins. But in saying that, I do believe that a rally is just around the corner for Bitcoin and many other altcoins. I believe a lot of people are talking about October, mid to the end of October is when the rally is going to start. We could have some more downside before that. So Ethereum could decline to $125 to even $100. So just be prepared for that. But if you are in crypto long term, Ethereum could rally more to the upside, like it was last year. But again, it's just tough to say right now with all the negative news surrounding it. It's just, it is what it is. And if you're holding it, maybe diversify into other altcoins just to cover your bases. But of course, it's not financial advice, just my opinion. So, but if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.